What is going on, Misfit Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Matt the Misfit. Tonight, we are back with SmackDown with an excellent episode of Friday Night SmackDown. We had the final, or not the finals, the final side of the bracket for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match featuring the SmackDown guys for some reason. We had an excellent triple threat match to open in the show. We had an okay triple threat match to go on right after that. I had a fun little main event between the winners of those triple threat matches. We found out that for the first time in a very long time, Roman Reigns is going to wrestle a match that does not involve the Universal Championship at a pay-per-view. Mind-boggling. And even more mind-boggling that it's going to be for the undisputed tag team titles, which are held by the people who I originally thought were not going to be able to go Saudi Arabia. That has been changed, but I will talk about that in a little bit when we get to that. We've seen Asuka turn heel, sort of, I guess, continuing her feud with Bianca Belair, and I'm hoping I have a little, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Fantasy booking idea that I'm going to throw at you guys there and all that good stuff, but before we get to that, let's do some plugs here. Why don't we? You can follow me, this podcast, on social media, Misfit Podcast TV on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram, the other audio outlets, which are as follow: Pandora, Stitcher, Audible, Amazon Music, Spotify, Google Podcast, and iHeartRadio. And if you want to quote unquote watch this, it's on youtube.com/Misfit Wrestling Podcast. All you need to know on that subject. Boom. Also, I am going to make an announcement here. No, I will not be I will not be recording or doing a podcast for Night of Champions because, again, as much as I would love to see hopefully the main event of that show, and some other matches on that show, I will not be reviewing the show, mainly because it's Saudi, and I've already made the commitment to not do Saudi shows. So, in that place of that Saudi show, it's a big weekend that week of professional wrestling. We have that show, obviously. We'll also have Double or Nothing that same weekend. So, I can find what we're doing here. Okay, so here it is. So here of that same weekend here, I'm going to review Stardom's Flashing Champions event that's going to be on that same day. It's that early morning or somewhere around there. I have a huge. I'll go over that card in a little bit too. I'm thinking about doing the Hana Kimura Memorial Tribute Show, the third one, which has been an annual thing here. AEW Double or Nothing, that's going to be happening earlier this month as well. Speaking of Stardom, a phenomenal, a really good show in my opinion. It was free on YouTube. You can check it out on their YouTube channel. New Blood 8, or Tam Nakano defeated Tam Nakano. Yes, you heard me correctly. Rina becomes the youngest champion in Stardom right now at just age 16. Which is very, very pleasing to see that, and all that good stuff. But this is SmackDown we're going to talk about here. And SmackDown opened with the first of two triple threat tournament matches. Edge, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio. This match was excellent, as you would expect. Had three of the greatest in-ring performers in the history of the business. And like the fact that this is the first time this triple threat match has happened too, which is, it's kind of interesting because we have 2/6 of the SmackDown 6 in the match, and then a new version of the SmackDown 6, which was in 2016, which included AJ Styles. The bell rings. Styles and Mysterio go after Edge. The three men go back and forth, rolling to the outside, or rolling up on another. Multiple pin attempts here. Edge fires off stomps on AJ Styles. Mysterio catches Edge with a enziguri. Edge catapults Styles onto Mysterio. Edge then plants Styles on top of Mysterio before hitting him with an Edge-O-Matic and then whipping him into the corner, sends Mysterio crashing to the outside, but gets back into the ring. Styles hits him with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, then clotheslines Edge to the outside. Mysterio delivers a floating Hurricane Rana to Styles. This match was was all over the place. Meanwhile, later on in the match, we go to a commercial break after Styles delivers a baseball drop kick. They come back. Edge delivers a double spear to Mysterio, and Styles off the apron with something like nasty. Edge gets back in the ring, goes for a pin, but Mysterio kicks out. Mysterio then delivers a step-up enziguri to Styles, but Styles manages to lock in the calf crusher. Styles was using the calf crusher most of this match and the match with the winner of the other triple threat match, which we'll get to in a little bit. Styles catches Edge with a headbutt. Let me scroll back a little bit here. Edge comes in, locks a crossface on Mysterio. Then Styles catches Edge with a headbutt. Edge takes a few shots at Styles, forcing him to relinquish the hold. Edge and Styles go back and forth with right hands. They had their feud. They just had a. I'm getting flashbacks to their horrible feud that they had last year. Thankfully, both of them have been off their separate ways. Edge is doing a little bit to me, a little bit much more better. Now that he's not part of the Judgment Day and all that stuff here, but Mysterio sets up with 619, but Edge and Styles both escape level Mysterio. They then take one. They both take each other, try to take each other down. Once they get back to the feet, Edge sends Styles into the middle turnbuckle face first. Sends to the top rope. Rey Mysterio rather, meets him up there. Styles joins the fun and delivers a powerbomb to Rey Mysterio. Then ascends to the middle rope to look for a superplex. Mysterio pulls down both men. Before Styles sets up for a phenomenal forearm on Edge. Edge gets out of the way, leans into. So Edge gets out of the way here. Mysterio sets up with a 619 on Edge, but Edge catches him by Mysterio by the legs and locks in the execution, or the educator. I don't know why I call it the execution. That was the other move. That's the DDT thing. Styles looks to break the hold, but Edge locks in one on Styles. Instead, Styles escapes, delivers the forearm onto Edge for the win. Edge takes the pinfall clean. 1, 2, 3. Rey Mysterio. AJ Styles advances to the main event of SmackDown. Excellent way to open the show here. But the right guy won. I know a lot of people said, well, that video convinced me otherwise. I'm like, it had to be AJ Styles. Edge does not need to be in the World Championship picture. Edge, I don't think, wants to be a world champion right now or hold any titles in WWE. So it makes sense for it to be AJ Styles, who is going on, by the way. I'm just going to spoiler alert. AJ Styles did win the SmackDown side of the bracket. He will be going on to face Seth Rollins at Night of Champions. But yeah, like I said, that match was great. And we're getting back to a little bit of the old AJ Styles where he was tearing down the house every week, having great matches with people. So hopefully this continues heading into Night of Champions and even beyond Night of Champions. We then are getting recaps of videos between this stale, boring Bloodline storyline that I'm kind of over with now. I just don't care about it anymore because they're still continuing with this god-awful. It's not god-awful. Let me scale it back here. They're still continuing the storyline that should have ended at WrestleMania with doing the Bloodline and Sami Zayn and the Usos. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, rather. Oh, I will get to that when I get to that, because I'm fed up with the WWE and that stuff here. Next up, though, we got the other triple threat match. Bobby Lashley wins by pinning Austin Theory. This match was all right. Nothing big here happened here. Near the end of the match, Sheamus tries to hit for the Razor's Edge, but Theory rolls him up. Sheamus kicks out, delivers a kick to the face, then calls for the bro kick. Lashley catches him with a spear before he can deliver it. Austin Theory sends him to ring first, sends him like into the ring post first, shoulder first, goes for the pin. Sheamus kicks out. Sheamus looks for A-Town down, which is a terrible fucking title. It's actually, if I'm being honest, it's both a terrible move and a terrible name for a finish. Bobby Lashley escapes, locks in the hurt lock, Sheamus delivers a bro kick to break the hold, but Lashley dumps Sheamus to the outside, and then, like I said, pins Theory for the win. This match was not as good. It was okay, but it wasn't as good or as excellent as the other triple threat match. And Bobby Lashley goes on to face AJ Styles in the main event. Bobby Lashley at one point did bust himself open. Accidentally this time. This was not a Brock Lesnar hard way that I had to do it on purpose. This was accidental because the blood was everywhere. So, oof. Then we go to the back. Adam Pearce is on the phone. In walks the newest member of the SmackDown roster from NXT, Grayson Waller. He says that since he was drafted late to SmackDown during the draft, Pearce would be able to make it up to Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, by having him host the semifinals match later on tonight. Hosting the winner of the semifinals match later on tonight on the Grayson Waller effect, which was announced for next week. And Adam Pearce said, okay. So like I said, spoiler, AJ Styles won. So next week on SmackDown, AJ Styles will be on the Grayson Waller effect. Next up, Cameron Grimes destroys versus Barry Corbin. Didn't even last 10 seconds. Bell rings, cave in, 1, 2, 3. Well, that's how that happened. Corbin got onto the mic, tells Grimes that he'll leave him flat out in the back of 2 minutes. Corbin didn't even last a minute and a half in this match. The bell rung, cave in, 1, 2, 3. That was it. I'm happy to see Cameron Grimes on the main roster. I'm glad he's not in NXT anymore. Man was just stuck down there. But I think Cameron Grimes is going to get over on the main roster. He's great. Former $1 million champion. You know what? If you want to reignite that feud with him in LA Knight, because that was some of my favorite stuff during the pandemic era of NXT. The whole LA Knight and Cameron Grimes $1 million man stuff with Ted DiBiase coming in and effectively turning Cameron Grimes into a babyface, making people feel sympathy for him because he kept getting outbidded and outbought and outdone everything by $1 million man. It was great stuff. Then we were back to recapping video packages for some reason with Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes. I did watch Raw, unfortunately. But I did love the first triple threat match between Rollins, Nakamura, and Priest. They all looked great. This is the best Nakamura's looked in a long time. Damian Priest looks great. Damian Priest, a lot of people I saw a lot of people complain about Damian Priest being in this match. Saying he didn't deserve it because he lost at Backlash. I'm like, the performance he put on and helped at Backlash, he fucking deserves to be in that match. And it does look like they're going to do more with Damian Priest as a top act, which is great. I hope they do more with Damian Priest. Damian Priest is great. Damian Priest did not take the pinfall. Nakamura did, but again, Nakamura looked great in defeat. However, he's going to be feuding with The Miz because that's what The Miz... Listen, I would have been perfectly fine if Miz was drafted to the unemployment line. or in this case SmackDown, or in this case NXT, because I don't watch NXT anymore. So I wouldn't give a shit if he's on that show because I don't watch it. So there's that. But however, the other triple threat match, which was Balor, Miz, and Cody, Brock came in and interrupt the match and set up the rematch for Night of Champions, which is probably going to have a stipulation. I don't know what the stipulation is going to be. Right now, it's just a regular match, which is odd. But that set up the main event for later on that show, which was phenomenal stuff. Rollins and Balor always kill it. They had a phenomenal match, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. But we're going to see a rematch. Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar. I'm so fucking glad they're keeping Cody away from the World Heavyweight title. He does not need to be anywhere near that title. The only title he should be focused on is the WWE Universal or the WWE Championship. Fuck the Universal title, the WWE Championship. Next up, we got this got under my skin a little bit. It was a great segment, but oh boy. It got under my skin for the wrong reasons. I'll tell you why in a little bit. Roman Reigns comes out here, basically just he's basically calling out the Usos for being fucking pussies and shit like that. All that good stuff. He says Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is no longer the problem. It's just the Usos are the problem. He demanded an apology from the Usos. He even shoves Jimmy Uso at one point, which I didn't see that coming. And then Jimmy, of all people, which surprised the shit out of me, said, "We apologize, Us. We apologize. Let us make it up to you one more time. Let's try to get the tag team titles back into the Bloodline." And Roman's like, "Yeah, you're right. The tag team titles are going to come back to the Bloodline." And come to find out, Roman Reigns is going to team with Solo Sikoa to take on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Night of Champions for the tag titles. And first of all, because I didn't even know this was a thing. First of all, I was like, I thought Sami couldn't even go to Saudi Arabia, and I knew if Sami wasn't going, Kevin Owens wasn't going, or if Sami wasn't allowed to go, Kevin Owens wouldn't be going. Apparently, a couple of days ago, now what is it? What is it called? The Syria, the Syrian government and the Saudi Arabian government have now mended fences, and now they're on the same page. So now it sounds like Sami Zayn is allowed to is allowed to go into Saudi Arabia. So now that's happening. That's all well and good. Cool. I'm happy for Sami that he gets to finally go to do these stupid ass Saudi shows. My issue has nothing to do with that. My issue is why the fuck are we still doing the Bloodline versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? I thought that shit was supposed to end at WrestleMania. Even Sami fucking Zayn had a headline on social media today. And if I can pull this up, and I'm going to pull this up here. I'm going to pull this up on Fightful.com because Fightful is the one who had this article up, this headline up here. Where is it? Where is this where it says Sami Zayn? Let's see if I can find this fucking article here. Here we go. My part in the Bloodline story is done, more or less. That is what he said. And I said, you're a fucking liar. And I love Sami Zayn, but you are fucking telling me a goddamn lie. Because I knew that as long as those two are the champions, this fucking Bloodline storyline with the Usos, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Roman, and Solo is still going to go on. I don't even want the Bloodline to win the titles. Because it's not gonna. Because then they're just gonna count. Because even if Roman and Solo win the titles, guess what? Solo Sikoa could just walk his ass over to Monday Night Raw to fuck with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn again, and maybe Cody Rhodes. somebody else should be winning the tag team titles. Hopefully, when Tommaso Ciampa comes back, it's Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano that wins the tag titles from Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens or something. That way, when that happens, I don't have to see this feud anymore. I'm over it. As great as this feud has been, this storyline has been, I'm over it. The storyline should have died at WrestleMania. The climax of the storyline was at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens beating the Usos. That should have been the end of that. I thought it was. No, it wasn't. And then they fucking had the decision to have Cody Rhodes lose to fucking Roman for adversity for no fucking reason. Is the match going to be good? Probably. Do I care at this point? No, I don't. And I hope to God that I hope to God the Usos actually screw over Roman and Solo at the pay-per-view, because I do not want to see this program continue with the Bloodline and Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens. Move Roman on to somebody else. Roman, his focus should be defending the Universal Championship, which he never defends. Weekly, by the way, against presumably Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. The Usos should be worried about getting the title somehow off of Roman Reigns and pulling the power from him. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens should be worried about the rest of the tag team division, not the fucking Usos, not the fucking Bloodline. But, I just don't care about the storyline that much anymore. The hype for the storyline died when Roman Reigns retained the championship. And no, motherfuckers, I'm not saying Sami Zayn should have beaten Roman Reigns either. The end point of this storyline should have been Los Angeles, WrestleMania 39, Night 2, with Cody Rhodes pinning Roman Reigns, clean as a motherfucking whistle. But they didn't do that. It's whatever. Next up, we had a backstage segment with Damage Control. Actually, before that, we had a LWO Usos confrontation here. We find out later on that it's going to be Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio taking on the Usos next week. Then we had what's the word I'm looking for here? A backstage interview with Damage Control, and Bayley's going on about some shit, and IYO SKY, who is like one of the most over women on the roster now, she looks just fucking fed up with Damage Control, but mainly Bayley and her bullshit. She looked uninterested in what she was talking about. She was annoyed as hell. And then Bayley had the balls to say she wasn't ready. Oh, and I saw that, and the look on IYO's face is like, bitch, I'm gonna fuck your day up one day. That's kind of what happened here in a way. We had the tag team title match, and I was somewhat correct here that IYO SKY did in fact cost Bayley the title match. Now, it was accidental, just like Bayley's was, but I feel like IYO should have done it intentionally. And you know what? The next time they have a match, she's probably going to do it intentionally, because what happened here was the story of the match here is more the match itself is non-existent at this point, because the match was not very good. The story here is IYO basically has no interest in helping out Damage Control until like the very end here. IYO's trying to hand Bayley the championship to use it, and then I think it's Raquel that grabbed it and just took it away from her, and Bayley accidentally knocks IYO off the ring apron. Bayley gets rolled up, and Liv Morgan retains the championship. And then I don't know what Io's face looked like because they didn't show it. Bayley had this I fucked up again. Looked on her face. Like, when Io turns on Bayley, it's gonna be beautiful stuff because that crowd, and if I'm booking this, I book it in front of like people who give a shit. That's just me. Next up, we see Brawling Brutes backstage trying to kind of cheer up Sheamus after his loss earlier. Pretty Deadly from NXT, who got called up to the main roster last week in the draft, shows up. No, not last week. Technically it was last week in the draft. Sheamus tells Kit Wilson, and Elton Prince. I almost call it Elton Price. I don't know why. Which one of them is pretty and which one is deadly? Prince and Wilson, then Mock, Butch, and Ridge Holland, and that sets up Brawling Brutes versus Pretty Deadly next week, which should be a lot of fucking fun. Then we had, because it's Knoxville, Tennessee, and they just love their fucking Bianca Belair championship celebration. I swear to fucking Christ, they do this every time they go to Knoxville, Tennessee with Bianca Belair on there. They have to have a championship celebration or a celebration of some kind with her, and it's kind of, oh my God, it's fucking annoying. It is annoying. But thankfully for guys like you and me, we didn't have to sit through it very long. Because Asuka comes out here and screws the shit up. Because it was reported by PW Insider that Asuka, there's been talks of turning Asuka fully heel and finishing a program with Bianca Belair. She comes out because Asuka was drafted to SmackDown, and she sprays the blue mist in front of Bianca's face. Again, she sells it, but she already fails because that mist is supposed to put you to sleep, not make you cry out in fucking horror, because that's not what the blue... Muda would be very disappointed. He probably is. So they're going to do that. Looks like they're going to do it at Night of Champions. And my thought process of here is, when we get the Night of Champions, Asuka should win the championship. No questions asked. If we're gonna do this whole heel turn with Asuka, this full on heel turn, and we do another match with these two, I don't give a shit what you have planned for Bianca at SummerSlam. Do not have her have another fucking loss, or have Asuka take another loss just to please your fucking stupid shit. Asuka should win the title here. And then once Io turns on Bayley, you can do that match at fucking, I don't know, Money in the Bank or something. Whatever. Asuka should win Money in the Bank. Cash in on not Bianca Belair. Asuka should cash in on Asuka ahead of time. There's your women's championship match for SummerSlam. IYO SKY, Asuka for the women's title. And then Bianca and Charlotte can have their match, non-title, at SummerSlam. Does not need to be for the championship. Not that hard to set that up. To me, I don't think it's very hard here. That's the match should be. That's just why I think it is. Main event. AJ Styles defeated Bobby Lashley to go on to the finals of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship tournament. This match was fine. But the match ends here. Phenomenal for him after Lashley tries to go for a spear into the corner. Lashley misses after AJ moves out of the way, shoulder first into the ring post. Then Styles decides to do a running knee into the ring post itself onto Lashley's head, and Lashley stumbles, hits a phenomenal forearm for the win. AJ Styles goes on to Night of Champions to face Seth Rollins in a match that's probably going to steal the show. I'm very excited for this match here. So now we can go through the actual card here for Night of Champions, the current card for Night of Champions here. Then we have AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. Finals for the World Heavyweight Championship. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending the tag team titles against Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. And the match that, not the match, the show I'm doing in that place here is going to be Flashing Champion Stardom on May 27th, same day. We got a couple. There's a lot of tag team matches in here. We got we have Sherry and Sakura Aya. They will be taking on Rebel enemy Ram Kachau and Maika Ozaki. That's gonna be on there. Saya Ida and Momo Kogo from Stars will be taking Lady C and Miyu Imatsuki from Queen's Quest. Speaking of Queen's Quest, we got Hina and Aphrodite, which is Utami Hayashishida and Saya Kamatani. They will be taking on Starlight Kid, Ruka, and Rina from Oedo Tai. Stars, again, we have Mayu Iwatani and Hannah. They will be teaming with Hazuki and Koguma to take on Club Venus, which is Mariah May, Azina, Jesse, and Waka in an 8-1 tag match. Micah, who is, again, my pick to win the 5-star Grand Prix, fucking pulled the trigger on her. Suzuki and Mai Sarai will take on, which is very interesting, Suzuki and Mai Sarai, which I don't think are in Donna Del Mondo. So is Micah getting away from Donna Del Mondo? Who knows? But they'll be taking on Neo Stardom Army and Hanako. Azumi would defend her high-speed championship in a 3-way match between both members of Oedo Tai is from Oedo Tai, Saiki Kashima and Fuka Death. New Eras, Amy Suri and Mirai will defend their Goddess of Stardom titles against Natsuko Toro and Momo Watanabe from Gold Ship. Hope they win the titles, because I don't know what they got to do something with Momo here. Kairi Natsupoi and Soriaru from Restart will defend their Artist of Stardom championships against Julia Thekla and Maya Sakurai. And in the main event, the winner take all match for the World of Stardom and Winter of Stardom championships. Tam Nakano, the World of Stardom champion, takes on Mina Shirakawa, the Wonder of Stardom champion. That sounds like a fun match. I want to apologize for not being here very much, because I've kind of been, I haven't really felt like reviewing a lot of shows lately. Like, Dynamite was great. I enjoyed the hell out of Dynamite. That was some good stuff. That was a great show. I was going to review that, but I don't know, just didn't think about it. For now, like I said, I have decided I'm going to stop doing the Ring of Honor reviews for a little bit. I may still review what fucking show is supposed to come up here, whatever the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view is. Yeah. I mean, that was SmackDown. That's what I have to say about my little updates here. I also do have an update here. I will be gone the following weekend after following not Money in the Bank, the Double or Nothing and that show, because on Friday I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be at my place on Friday or Monday. I'm not sure about Monday, but because I will be out of town. I will be going to Alabama to visit my aunts and uncles and my cousins, because my cousin is getting married in a few weeks. So I will not be here for a SmackDown review and probably not a Raw review, unfortunately. And I won't be able to do, and I also will not be able to do Dynamite either, unfortunately, that week. So I'm letting you guys know here now, the week of May 29th, I will hopefully try to do Raw, but no guarantees on the review for AEW Dynamite. There will not be a Friday night SmackDown review. There most likely will not be a June 5th episode, a Dynamite episode of Raw review. If there is, it's going to be the day after Raw. But I just need to let that little information in there so you guys know. But if you like what you see here, hit the like button, comment down below, do all that stuff on the social medias. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I've been Matt the Misfit. Until then, I'm hoping to be back here for for Monday Night Raw. Hopefully Monday Night Raw is not garbage like it was this week. Until then, we're out.